A vision born of crisis, the origins of Revelation. The book of Revelation, the final book of the New Testament, stands as a testament to a period of intense upheaval and persecution for early Christians. It is a book that has fascinated and perplexed readers for centuries, with its vivid imagery and prophetic visions. Written during the reign of the Roman Emperor Domitian in the late 1st century CE, Revelation emerged from a climate of fear and uncertainty. Domitian's rule was marked by a renewed emphasis on emperor worship, which put Christians in a precarious position as they refused to participate in such practices. Early Christians faced growing suspicion and hostility from the Roman authorities, leading to sporadic but brutal persecution. They were often scapegoated for various societal issues, and their refusal to worship the emperor was seen as a direct challenge to Roman authority. In this context of oppression and anxiety, Revelation offered a powerful message of hope and resistance to its early readers. It provided a spiritual framework for understanding their suffering and a promise of divine justice. Attributed to John of Patmos, a Christian prophet exiled to the desolate island of Patmos, the book is addressed to 7 churches in Asia Minor, offering words of encouragement and warning in the face of tribulation. These churches were facing their own unique challenges, from internal strife to external persecution. Revelation's apocalyptic message, however, extended beyond the immediate historical context, offering a glimpse into the cosmic battle between good and evil and the ultimate triumph of God. This dual focus on the present and the future gave the book a timeless quality, resonating with readers across different eras. Revelation's author, using vivid and often unsettling imagery, painted a picture of a world on the brink of destruction, a world consumed by sin and wickedness. The graphic depictions of plagues, beasts, and divine retribution were meant to shock and awaken the readers to the spiritual realities behind their physical suffering. Yet, amidst the darkness, Revelation offered a beacon of hope for the faithful, promising deliverance from oppression and the establishment of God's kingdom on earth. This promise of a new heaven and a new earth provided a powerful counter-narrative to the despair and hopelessness of their current situation. The book's message of hope, however, was intricately intertwined with warnings of judgment and tribulation, creating a potent mix of fear and anticipation that would shape Christian thought for centuries to come. The idea that suffering was both a test and a precursor to divine intervention became a cornerstone of Christian eschatology. From its enigmatic origins on a remote island to its powerful message of hope and judgment, Revelation emerged as a pivotal text for early Christians, offering solace in times of persecution and a glimpse into the ultimate destiny of humankind. Its enduring legacy continues to inspire and challenge believers, reminding them of the eternal struggle between good and evil and the promise of redemption. Unveiling the Apocalypse, the imagery and symbols of Revelation. Revelation stands apart in the New Testament for its striking and often enigmatic imagery. Unlike the Gospels, with their narratives of Jesus' life and teachings, Revelation unfolds as a series of visions, replete with symbolic language and fantastical creatures. This symbolic language, while challenging to interpret, has contributed to Revelation's enduring fascination and its profound impact on Western culture. Central to Revelation's imagery is the apocalypse, a Greek word meaning unveiling or revelation. The book describes a cataclysmic end to the world as we know it, marked by natural disasters, plagues, and cosmic battles. These apocalyptic visions, while terrifying, serve as a reminder of God's power and the ultimate triumph of good over evil. Among Revelation's most enduring symbols are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, representing conquest, war, famine, and death. These harbingers of destruction have been depicted countless times in art and literature, becoming synonymous with the end of times. Another prominent symbol is the number 666, the number of the beast, often interpreted as a symbol of the Antichrist, a figure of ultimate evil who will deceive the world and usher in a reign of tyranny. The Antichrist, depicted as a charismatic but deceptive leader, embodies the forces of evil arrayed against God. Revelation also introduces the concept of Armageddon, a final battle between the forces of good and evil. This apocalyptic showdown, often interpreted literally, represents the culmination of history and the final judgment of humanity. The 4 horsemen ride, Revelation, and the fall of Rome. The imagery of the four horsemen, representing conquest, war, famine, and death, painted a vivid picture of the end times that captivated the imagination of many. The vivid imagery and apocalyptic themes of Revelation resonated deeply with early Christians, particularly those living under Roman rule. These early Christians, often persecuted for their faith, found in Revelation a source of strength and a promise of divine justice. As the Roman Empire, with its vast power and often brutal practices, came to represent worldly power and oppression, Revelation's message of judgment and the downfall of empires resonated with those seeking solace and hope. The empire's military might and political dominance were seen as symbols of earthly corruption and tyranny. In the centuries following its writing, Revelation's influence grew, shaping Christian interpretations of history and influencing social and political movements. The text was studied and revered, its prophecies seen as a divine roadmap for understanding the world's events. The fall of the Western Roman Empire in the 5th century CE, a period of profound upheaval and societal transformation, was widely interpreted through the lens of Revelation. The barbarian invasions, the sacking of cities, and the collapse of Roman authority was seen as the fulfillment of apocalyptic prophecies. Many Christian writers and theologians saw in the decline of Rome a fulfillment of Revelation's prophecies, interpreting the barbarian invasions and the empire's eventual collapse as signs of God's judgment upon a decadent and corrupt society. These interpretations were recorded in numerous theological texts and sermons, reinforcing the belief that Rome's fall was divinely ordained. Revelation's message of an impending apocalypse, with its promise of divine retribution and the ultimate triumph of good over evil, provided a framework for understanding the tumultuous events of the time. The vivid descriptions of battles between heavenly and demonic forces mirrored the real-world conflicts and chaos. The association of Rome with the whore of Babylon, a symbol of decadence and corruption in Revelation, further fueled these interpretations, suggesting that the once mighty empire had fallen from grace and was destined for destruction. This imagery was powerful, depicting Rome as a city that had succumbed to moral decay and was now facing divine punishment. This interpretation of Roman history through the lens of Revelation would have a lasting impact on Western thought, shaping views of secular power, divine judgment, and the cyclical nature of history. The idea that empires rise and fall according to divine will became a central theme in medieval and later historical thought. Revelation's message of hope and its promise of a new heaven and a new earth, however, offered solace amidst the chaos and uncertainty. For many, the fall of Rome was not just an end but a beginning, a prelude to the establishment of God's eternal kingdom. The fall of Rome, while seen as a sign of God's judgment, also heralded the coming of God's kingdom, a time of peace, justice, and righteousness. This vision of a future where divine justice prevails provided comfort and hope to those living through the empire's decline, reinforcing their faith in a higher power and a better world to come. Dark Ages, Dark Prophecies, Revelation in the medieval period. The medieval era, often shrouded in mystery and myth, was a time when the lines between the earthly and the divine were blurred, and the book of Revelation held a significant place in the collective consciousness. As Europe emerged from the ruins of the Roman Empire and entered the Middle Ages, Revelation continued to exert a powerful hold on the imagination. The collapse of the Roman order left a vacuum that was filled with a renewed focus on spiritual matters, and Revelation's vivid imagery provided a framework for understanding the chaos and uncertainty of the times. The medieval period, often characterized by its religious fervor and preoccupation with the afterlife, found fertile ground for Revelation's apocalyptic themes. Monasteries and churches became centers of learning and spiritual reflection, where the words of Revelation were studied and interpreted by scholars and clergy alike. The imagery of Revelation permeated medieval art, literature, and religious life. Artists and writers drew inspiration from its dramatic visions, creating works that depicted the cosmic battle between good and evil, the final judgment, and the ultimate triumph of divine justice. Elaborate paintings and sculptures depicted the Last Judgment, the torments of hell, and the triumph of God, drawing heavily on the vivid language and symbolism of Revelation. These artistic expressions served not only as religious instruction but also as a means to instill fear and reverence in the faithful. The book's message of impending judgment served as a stark reminder of human mortality and the need for spiritual redemption. Sermons often emphasize the transient nature of earthly life and the eternal consequences of one's actions, urging people to repent and seek salvation. Popular preachers such as the fiery Bernard of Clairvaux drew upon Revelation's imagery to inspire religious devotion and warn against the dangers of sin. Their impassioned sermons captivated audiences, reinforcing the belief that the end times were near and that moral vigilance was essential. Revelation's message of impending judgment resonated deeply in a time marked by plague, famine, and warfare. Fueling a widespread belief that the end of the world was near, these calamities were often interpreted as signs of divine wrath, further embedding Revelation's apocalyptic vision into the medieval psyche. The medieval period also witnessed the rise of apocalyptic movements, often led by charismatic figures claiming divine inspiration. These leaders attracted followers by promising deliverance from the suffering and injustices of the present world and by interpreting contemporary events as fulfillments of Revelation's prophecies. These movements, fueled by social unrest and dissatisfaction with the Church, looked to Revelation for signs of the end times and the coming of God's kingdom. The promise of a new just order appealed to those who felt oppressed and marginalized, offering a vision of hope amidst turmoil. While Revelation's message of judgment loomed large in the medieval imagination, the book's promise of a new heaven and a new earth offered hope and solace in a time often marked by hardship and uncertainty. This duality of fear and hope made Revelation a powerful tool for both control and comfort. The belief in a future paradise, free from suffering and injustice, provided a powerful incentive for righteous living and a source of comfort in the face of death. Monks and lay people alike found solace in the promise of eternal peace, motivating them to lead lives of piety and devotion, ever mindful of the ultimate reward that awaited them in the afterlife.